ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Shloka number 19. So, let's go back. Not it. You can open Chrome. Right. You can zoom. So can you repeat after me? Tadarajastamo bhavaha Sitam sattve prasidhati. Tadarajastamo bhavaha Chetaitairanavriddham Sitam sattve prasidhati. Tadarajastamo bhavaha Chetaitairanavriddham Sitam sattve prasidhati. Tadarajastamo bhavaha Kamalobhadayaschaye Chetaitairanavriddham Sitam sattve prasidhati. Tadarajastamo bhavaha Kamalobhadayaschaye
चेतयेतैरनाविद्धम् स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति तदा रजस्तमो भावः कामलोभादयश्चये चेतयेतैरनाविद्धम् स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति तदा रजस्तमो भावः कामलोभादयश्चये चेतयेतैरनाविद्धम् स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति तदा रजस्तमो भावः कामलोभादयश्चये चेतयेतैरनाविद्धम् स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति.
Okay. So I was thinking to recite the other shlokas also, which is part of this series. So from shloka number 16 onwards. So this, all of you might have gone through these shlokas, no? So I will not ask you to repeat. No, we will just recite it once. Shushruto Shraddhadanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi Shyamahatsevaya Vipra Punyakita Dishevana Shranvatam Svakatha Krishna Punyashravana Kirtana Tadentasthobhya Vakrani Vidunoti Suhrutsata Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavadasevaya Bhagavad-gita Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtriti Tada Rajastamo Bhavaha Kamadovadayasya Chetayetayanaviddham Sthritam Sattve Prasidati Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavad-bhakti Yogata Bhagavad-tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate Vidyate Hridaya-granthas Chityante Sarva Samshaya Shriyante Chasya Karmani Krishna Evatmanishvare. So this is a very amazing set of shlokas. Like we will read the word meaning and the translation purport, and we will start our discussion. Tada, at that time, Rajaha, in the mode of passion, Tamaha, mode of ignorance, Bhavaha, the situation, Kama, lust and desire, Lobha, hankering, Adayaha, others, Cha, and Ye, whatever they are, Chetaha, the mind, Etahi, by these, Anaviddham, without being affected, Sthitam, being fixed, Sattve, in the mode of goodness, Prasidati, thus become fully satisfied. Translation and purport by His Divine Graces Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. Jai Shri Prabhupada. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and he becomes completely happy. Purport. A living being in its normal constitutional position is fully satisfied in spiritual bliss. This state of existence is called Brahma Bhuta or Atmananda, or the state of self-satisfaction. This self-satisfaction is not like the satisfaction of the inactive fool. The inactive fool is in the state of foolish ignorance, whereas the self-satisfied Atmanandi is transcendental to material state of existence. This stage of perfection is attained as soon as one is fixed in irrevocable devotional service. Devotional service is not inactivity, but the unalloyed activity of the soul. The soul's activity becomes adulterated in the contact with matter, and as such, the deceased activities are expressed in the form of lust, desire, hankering, inactivity, foolishness, and sleep. the effect of devotional service becomes manifest by complete elimination of these effects of passion and ignorance. The devotee is fixed at once in the mode of goodness, and he makes further progress to rise to the position of Vasudeva, or state of unmixed sattva or Shuddha sattva. Only in this Shuddha sattva state can one always see Krishna face to face by dint of pure affection for the Lord. The devotee is always in the mode of unalloyed goodness, therefore he harms no one. But the non-devotee, however educated he may be, is always harmful. The devotee is neither foolish nor passionate. The harmful, foolish, and passionate cannot be devotee of the Lord. However, they may advertise themselves as devotees by outward dress. The devotee is always qualified with all the good qualities of God. Qualitatively, such qualifications may be different, but quantitatively, both the Lord and His devotees are one and the same. तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपान्तरायेण ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशायिने वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामने गौरवविशेषिणे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. So I'm very happy to be here amongst all the devotees in Panathur Center. So it's a very wonderful section of shlokas. In fact, Srila Prabhupada, when he was traveling in the Jaladuta, and he writes this wonderful prayer, Markine Bhagavad Dharma. So there he cites this entire set of shlokas, as his preaching plan. He mentions in that bhajan that so he just has the first sight of the western land. He lands in the Boston harbor. So and then he's seeing the situation over there. The situation is very pathetic. So he's noting that this environment is fully filled with the material mode of passion and ignorance, right? So that is the situation over there. And then he's thinking that how is the pure message of Krishna consciousness, how will these people be able to accept it? How will these people be able to take up the Krishna consciousness? It is quite difficult, like here in this one you could see that at one place it is mentioned that the devotee fixed at once in the mode of goodness, and he makes further progress to rise to the position of Vasudeva. So Vasudeva, Krishna's father's name is also Vasudeva. So Krishna appears from Vasudeva, or where there is pure mode of goodness is there, so which is called Vasudeva or Vishuddha Sattva. So that is the place where Krishna manifests. Without that, Krishna doesn't manifest. Especially, Krishna doesn't manifest in a place where there is no mode of passion and ignorance. He doesn't even manifest in a place where there is goodness. He manifests in a place where there is pure goodness or Vishuddha Sattva. So this is like an anxiety that Srila Prabhupada was facing, and he was thinking that how is that these people are going to take up to Krishna consciousness? It's quite difficult. But then, like a natural faith of a devotee actually manifests, and then Srila Prabhupada is writing that if Krishna wants, he can change the situation. If Krishna wants, he can infuse, these people or induce these people to take up to Krishna consciousness. And then he cites this entire set of shlokas from Srimvatam Slokata Krishna to this one, like whatever we have read. So like when the people, when they give oral reception to the messages of Srimad Bhagavatam, so then it acts as a very, very powerful medicine. And in this whole set of shlokas, the stages of bhakti are described. So from Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Vajana Priya, Anartana Vritti, so then Nishta, Ruchi, Ashakti, Bhava and Prema. So that is essentially explained in this set of shlokas. And the today's shloka, it actually talks about Ruchi and Ashakti. These are the two stages this today's shloka actually talks about. So here, in the previous shlokas, like you might have heard in the previous set of shlokas, how like when a service is done to a great personality, like Mahat, so then what happens? So, he gets the desire for hearing about the message of Krishna. When a service, when an accidental service is performed, to a great devotee, so then the desire for hearing about Krishna actually manifests. Shushko Sadhanasya Vasudeva Katha Ruchi Shan Mahat Sevaya Vikram. So Mahat Sevaya. So when it is mentioned that uh, Mahat Sevam Varam Ahal Vimuktes. So like when Mahat Seva is done, so then the Dwaram, Vimukta Dwaram. So when Mahat Seva is performed, so then the door for liberation actually gets opened. So then it is mentioned in the shloka, Tamodvaram Yoshikam Sangi Sangha. So when the association with the material nature, when that has been had, and especially the symbol of association with the material nature is Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. So association with the opposite sex or association with people who are very much addicted to opposite sex. This actually opens the door. Tamodvaram means opens the door to the hell. So this is what is the description that is mentioned. So now, like when Mahat Seva, so when Mahat Seva is performed, when accidental devotional service is performed, so then what happens is, like the door for liberation actually opens, and how this door actually opens, it opens in the form of desire for hearing the message of Krishna. That actually starts. So when the desire for hearing the message of Krishna is there, so then what happens? Then a person actually engages, in the process of Shravanam. So when he engages in the process of Shravanam, it is mentioned that Lord personally enters the heart and he personally cleanses the heart of all the anarthas that are there, like lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, and stuff like that. And also there is different kinds of anarthas that our acharyas actually tell. There are four distinct kind of anarthas. So one is I don't know if you're able to see this thing. This is. So this is from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bhajana Rahasya. So there is a composition that he makes, a nice set of shlokas, where he mentions this different kinds of anarthas. So one anartha is misconceptions about the reality, which is called Tattva Vikrama, and then inappropriate desires and offenses and weakness of heart. So these are all different kinds of the anarthas that are there. And each of these four have four subdivisions, no, that are there. So we will see that. I will pass on this PDF to all of you. So this the Tattva Vibrama section. Okay, so like the Ananta is regarding to the not having sufficient clarity about what is the reality. So what is misconceptions regarding the nature, the material nature? What is this material nature? So there is heavy misconception is there. Like in the modern world, in the morning we were discussing in the class, Bhagavatam class, that whatever education that we have in the modern world, so we the spiritualists call it as ajnana, or avidya. So why it is called as avidya? It is knowledge. So we have textbooks and we have so much of education that we have. Then why it is called as avidya? So for a basic simple reason, because vidya means what is reality, and avidya means what is not real. So now, like we have studied about chemistry, physics, and things like that. We have, for example, if we take chemistry, so we have different molecules and different this ones, and practically we are able to see the combinations, whatever has been prescribed. If you do those chemical reactions, you get the desired result. So then it should be considered as knowledge. Now, why it is considered as ignorance? Why it is considered as avidya? So it is something fact, so the why it is considered as ignorance is because Krishna explains, Bhumi Rapa Anala Vayo Kammano Buddhirevacha Ahankara Nitiyame Dinna Prakriti Rashtara. There is earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. And then he says, Apare Vikaspanyam Prakriti Viddhime Para Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Vedam Narite Jagat. Apart from these eight, there is another spiritual entity, that spirit soul exists, right? And then apart from these, there is super soul also exists. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam, Kritadesha Arjuna Tishtati. So like super soul exists. So now all these things put together. So if the reality of the philosophy is that these number of elements exist, but the science, the modern science says, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and we don't know about what's ego. The science doesn't dwell so much about that. And then there is no question of soul, there is no question of super soul, because these essential variables have been removed from the equation. So whatever solution you will get from the scientific, this one is going to be insufficient solution, or partial solution, which amounts to avidya. So the reality is not taken fully into account. A partial reality is taken, and it will not produce the desired result. It's like if you have certain number of parameters, like to what is it? Morning we were discussing some example that you have you are supposed to cook some prasadam, and then you have been taught all the steps. So first you have to put this ingredient, next you have to put this, and you have to stir for so much time and things like that. And then the person does all these things, but the food is not good because in the recipe it was not mentioned you have to light fire to the stove. Right? So one parameter is missed. That's all. Missed. Everything is nicely done. But the effect is avidya. You cannot consume that food. It is raw, right? So that is what is the modern science. Where certain parameters are taken into account, the gross parameters are taken into account, and certain parameters are not taken into account, and it will not produce the desired result. And that's why we see that the modern way of material enjoyment, how much ever refined and refined it becomes. So one place we try to do some comfort, another place climate change happens, and ozone layer depletion happens, or some other crazy things happens. People find it we thought this is what exists, and if we manipulate this in this particular way, we can live nicely. But then we are trying to manipulate, and elsewhere something else is coming. So that is how this one is. So this is misconceptions regarding nature, and misconception regarding the nature of the Supreme Lord. Who is he and what is his personality all about, and things like that and all. So again, today morning I was hearing Srila Prabhupada's class. So there he was mentioning about this, the famous story of the Brahmana and the cobbler. You all might have heard that many, many times. So in that, a Brahmana, Shatkarmana Puno Vipro Mantra Tantra Visharada. So he is like very, very expert Brahmana, very pure in his practice, and reciting, the Vedas and things like that. So everything is doing nicely. So, but then another person, a cobbler is there. So both of them, they happen to meet Narada, and Narada is in his journey to Vaikuntha, and both of them, submit a petition to him. So you are you get, see the Supreme Lord Narayana. So we have a question to ask from him. Please clarify that. So and the question that is asked is, when will we, get back to the spiritual world? When we will attain liberation? So then Narada says, okay, fine, I'll go and ask. So when the case was described to Narayana, so Narayana told this cobbler, he is going to come back, to me, in this very lifetime. So then cobbler is, generally called as Muchi. Muchi means what? Huh? Muchi means unclean in its habits. Suchi means one who is clean in his habits, and Muchi means one who is unclean in his habits. So when Lord Narayana told this, so then Narada Muni became this one, he questioned that the other person, the Brahmana, he is very qualified. So here we saw in this purport also, a devotee, first he comes to the mode of goodness by the practice of Krishna consciousness. So the effect of devotional service become manifest by completely eliminating of these effects of passion and ignorance. Tada rajas tomo bhava kama lobha dayasche chete ede rana vidam sthitam sattve prasidhati. Right, so he becomes situated in sattva guna. So passion and ignorance reduces. He becomes situated in sattva guna, and after that he makes further progress and becomes situated in Shuddha Sattva or Vasudeva Sattva. That is, we discussed. So this is this Brahmana is already in Sattva Guna. He is just one step before the Vasudeva platform, where to realize Krishna. And that is the if somebody is there in Vishuddha Sattva platform, he is going to go back to Godhead, right? So he is just one step behind. That's all. And this cobbler, he is Muchi. He is a lot of steps behind. So how is that he is going to come back soon? And then the Brahmana, he asked okay, what happens to the Brahmana? So then Narayana told it will take, I don't know when he will come back. Probably many lifetimes it may take. So Narayana was quite confused. He is a person who is up in the ladder. He will not reach the destination. A person who is very lower in the ladder, he is going to reach the destination fast. So then he was quite confused, and then he asked Narayana, how to understand this. So this is what is the natural course of action. A person who's up in the ladder, he is likely to reach the destination much faster. So then Narayana told to him that you see, you tell these people that when they ask what the Lord was doing in the spiritual world, so you just tell them that he was putting an elephant through the needle of a through the eye of a needle, and then he was putting up and down he was he was taking putting in and taking out and things like that. So then okay, fine, I'll tell. So when Narada Muni met the Brahmana, he told he asked oh, you're coming back from Vaikuntha, what the Lord was doing. So then he explained the Lord was putting elephant through the eye of a needle. So then the Brahmana told no, you are just telling some bakwas. No, you have not you have not gone to Vaikuntha only. Simply you are cheating people. So then Narada understood no, he doesn't have sufficient faith. And then he went to the cobbler. And when the cobbler also asked the same question, Narada explained the situation. And then the cobbler started, he was in tears, and he told, and then Narada asked, no, why are you in tears? No, what happened? So he is telling that, you see the Achinta Shakti of my Lord. What all things he can do, anything and everything he can actually do. See, the whole universes, the whole set of universes, everything manifests from the breathing of the Supreme Lord. Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadandanata Vishnu Mahan Saiva Yasha Kala Visheshu Govindamadi Purushottamaham. So now we see that the Lord can manifest innumerable universes just by his breathing. That's his capacity. That is the Achintya capacity of the Lord. So if you see the philosophy, different kinds of philosophies are there. So in any philosophy we take, the Western philosophy, it actually takes the world to be real, and then it actually tries to put good and bad, in its place, and then they come up to the point of having that God must be good. No, everything good that is there, it is done by God, and there is evil also is there. Like there is so many bad things are also happening. How to place this thing? So then they create another character, called Saturn. And, all evil is created by the Saturn, and all good is created by God. And two competitors are there, and there is a constant conflict happening between God and the Saturn. So, but Vedic philosophy is what? What is Vedic philosophy? So the source of good is also God, the source of bad is also God. So that is why, like, this question that comes, like, no, I'm doing all good. Why bad thing is happening? No, what is God doing? No, seeing all these things. So God is only doing that. God is only giving you trouble. It is not that some other entity is coming and giving trouble, and God is watching helplessly, like, no, मैं क्या करूं? And things like that. So it is not like that. So this is an idea borrowed from the Western philosophy. So Indian system was like, or Vedic system was like, okay, happiness comes, distress comes, everything is a blessings of the Lord. So, because of my past activities, these are all coming, ordained by the Lord. So they would not think that, okay, bad happens, some Saturn is doing, good happens, God is doing. So they would not think like that, So, in fact, one of the devotees was mentioning, in the Vedic times, there was no question of divorce. You know why there is no question of divorce? Were all the marriages very successful and happy, in the Vedic times? They used to tolerate. So they would think if there is a bad combination that has come and it is a bad partnership and it's not working out, they would think that, okay, this is the effect of karma that I have did, so I will just live with it. So, but in future, I want to have a good partner. For that, I will do pious activities. In the next lifetime, I will get some good partner. So everything in the Vedic system, everything is next lifetime. And whatever I've got, I will tolerate. No, it's because whatever Leela I did in the past, for that I'm getting the result. So like, what should I do? No, I cannot do anything. So I just tolerate. So that was quite a very balanced and quite a, see, in Kali Yuga, it's like whatever happens right now, it has to be changed. Right now, I need a different partner. It's like crazy thing. Even you may change, but what happens? Your karma goes with you. Like what the Vodafone people say, like the network goes with you. Like the karma goes with you. Anything you change the job, you change the situation, anything you change, whatever is going to happen to you, it's going to happen to you. So better tolerate and plan for the next life. Do pious activities, do Krishna conscious activities, and plan to go back to the spiritual world. Once for all the problems is solved. So rather than changing it is like, we we work in a particular way, and end of the month we are going to get the salary. And while on the point of getting the salary, you're going and fighting with the accountant saying that no, like it is not 50,000, you should give me 1 lakh. Like you worked only this much. No, I want more. So then that becomes adharma, and that becomes tampering of the Lord's set systems. So that is why we have to follow dharma. Like whatever is our proper situation that we have to do. So, anyways, like coming back to the story, this. This Brahmana, like he was not having any faith, and this cobbler, he was saying that my Lord is so powerful, and my Lord is so he has Achintya Shakti, like he can do anything and everything. Okay, I was discussing about this philosophies. So in the Western philosophy, like they find it very difficult, where to put. There is some level of inconceivable elements that are there in this whole system, and it is quite difficult to logically conclude everything, like ABCD, like you can put an equation, you can make, and everything you cannot bring into a static equation, everything that happens in the whole creation. There is certain amount of inconceivability, right? So the Vedic philosophy puts that inconceivability on the Lord. God is definitely inconceivable, and he must be inconceivable. Otherwise, if I can conceive with my limited capacity, so then how can he be the Lord? He is like something within, who can fit within my system. So the Lord is like really very great. I can fit within this system, but he cannot fit within my system. So the Lord is really very great and amazing. So this, the capacity of the Lord, the nature of the Lord, the qualities of the Lord is inconceivable and really very great. So that understanding, so like if there is any misconceptions in that, and then misconception about the nature of the goal, like to attain the goal is Krishna Prem, and what is it, and to understanding about that, and then misconceptions about the nature of the obstacles to spiritual progress. These are all some of the misconceptions that could be there in the Tattva Vigrama. And then there is next set of this one is, okay, I will not go into this document. If I go into this only will become Bhagavatam class. So I've just given you the overall this one. I'll send this document to you. So there is Asat Krishna, inappropriate desires. Then there is offenses to the holy name, the deity, the devotee, and the living entities. No, this is one very important thing. It is not that if we avoid offenses to devotees, that is sufficient. No, to go back to Godhead, we should avoid offenses to even any living entity. No, so there is Jiva Aparadha also there. So one has to be free from that as well. And then Hridaya Daurvalya, weakness of heart. No, so these are all the anarthas which are there, and these have to be overcome. So, like these anarthas are personally removed by the Supreme Lord when a devotee hears the message of Krishna consciousness, when he hears the pure message of Krishna consciousness. Right? So, this after this stage, comes is the previous shloka that you all might have heard, Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So, this particular thing is first is Bhajana Kriya. The Srimad Sloka that Krishna actually talks about Bhajana Kriya. So Bhajana Kriya, when we start practicing the devotional practices of Shravanam, Kirtanam and things like that, it will be heavily infested with this anarthas. And because of this one, the Bhajana Kriya is not producing result. But it is producing some kind of a result where it is doing the process of anartha nivritti. So in the anartha nivritti, what happens? The anarthas reduce. And the next stage is called Nishta. Nishta means, it is another name of Nishta is Nishtita Bhajana Kriya. So like the first Bhajana Kriya stage when it came, so that is Anishtita Bhajana Kriya, or Bhajana Kriya infested with lot of anarthas. After that, when the anarthas are removed, so then the Bhajana Kriya becomes Nishtita Bhajana Kriya, or fixed devotional service. Like Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiti. You might have heard in the previous shloka, that is Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiti. So like a devotee starts practicing very solid devotional service. Right? So these anarthas have to be removed. And for that, this proper Shravanam has to be there. And also one of the Tattva Vikrama was also like misconceptions about the obstacles to devotional service. So what are the obstacles to devotional service? Offenses. That is also categorized as one of the things. Like those things also have to be clear. What are the obstacles to devotional service? There is another nice obstacle. Like what we were discussing. Two devotees we were discussing this particular point. So you all might have heard these two phrases, like which is called abhyasa, and what is another phrase which is in connection with abhyasa? Vairagya, Abhyasa and Vairagya. So these two things are also very important. So when a devotee is telling that, Prabhuji, I am doing nice practice. Now I am doing 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra, and then I am reading the Bhagavatam and hearing and things like that, but still there is no progress that is happening. So then immediately we check, okay, offenses, you are committing any offenses? No, like offenses are also not there. It's clear, like he's following things nicely. So then what is the problem? What other problem could be there? His abhyasa is very nice. So he's doing chanting, he's doing, he's reading, and he's doing Mangalarti, and he's doing deity worship, and like he's doing preaching as well, and so many nice devotional services he's doing. He's cooking, he's serving, like so many things he's doing. So, but still, something is problem is happening. What is that? Vairagya is also very important. What is that? So, one nice example is given. If you try to light fire to a wood, and then simultaneously you pour water on that, what will happen? The wood will not catch fire. So in the same way, we do so much of devotional service. It is all nice, glorified, very nice. You did 16 rounds, you did so much nice devotional service. But after that, like we also have sometimes relish some of the material aspects. Some of we become engaged in some material activity willingly, and like having some material desires, and cherishing them and nourishing them, and not actually trying to give it up and things like that. So then what happens? This formula happens. We are trying to light fire to the wood, and at the same time we are pouring some water also. So, or like we are trying to fill a glass with water, and there is a hole also in the glass. So then what happens? We keep filling the water and it keeps going out. So then the desired result. What is the desired result of performing any of the yoga systems? Two results are there. What are the two results? No, 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 no. In the progress, how the progress is measured? No. No, no. Huh? Detachment is one thing, and then detachment and attachment. So this is called as knowledge and renunciation. Jnana vairagya. No? So jnana vairagya. So like knowledge means positive attraction towards the reality. So reality is the Supreme Lord exists, and the first level of reality is to understand I am not the body, I am spirit. And second level of reality is not all spirit is same. There is one Supreme Spirit, and who controls and manages this material world. Paramatma realization. The first is Brahman realization, and second is Paramatma realization. And third is Bhagavan realization. The Bhagavan realization is, yes, I am also part and parcel of this supreme entity, and my duty is to render loving devotional service, towards, the Supreme Lord. So this is called knowledge. Knowledge means to understand these aspects. Knowledge means to come to the reality of understanding the spirit exists and matter is different from spirit, and then more and more, better understanding about the spirit and attachment to the supreme spirit. So these all constitute knowledge. And detachment means what? Detachment means like getting detached from things which are not much in relation to me. That's the matter. Detachment from matter and attachment to spirit. So this is the parameter to judge whether we are making progress or not. It's like you may see a student is going to the school, and then he's studying nicely, and he's coming and telling that no, I went to the school without bunking the school at any day, and then I listened to all the classes very nicely, I took notes of all the classes, I did all my homework, overnight, I sat and studied and things like that. So finally the question will be asked is, what will the question you ask to the student? How much marks you got? So you did all the circles, it's okay. Finally, how much marks you got? You tell me. So that's the same thing. We may tell like, I did Mangalarti, I did 16 rounds, I did Bhagavatam study, I did all the service, I did preaching program, this, that, and all those things. But finally, the question will be asked is, how much knowledge you got, how much detachment you got, how much you have become attached to the chanting and study of Bhagavatam and things like that. Naturally, the attachment is arising in your heart, and how much of detachment that you have developed from the material things, from like prestige, power, position, lust, anger, greed, and stuff like that. How much detachment you have developed in these things. So this is the mark that we have got. So we may do all the necessary activities, but we have to see the result. Palena parishayate. We have to see the result. If the result is there, then okay. All your whatever practice you have done, everything is 100 marks. It is put. So, but if results are not there, so then we have to analyze. Either we are nourishing and some anarthas, or some offenses are happening, or we are actively focusing on some material subjects and things like that. So something somewhere it is going wrong. That has to be fixed. So then it will produce the desired result. Right? So the yoga system, be it karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, all of it, the only way the mark or marking system, only way the progress is measured is based on jnana vairagya. How much knowledge is developed, how much detachment is developed, right? So that is this one. So like there is a nice shloka is also there in this direction, that bhakti paresha anubhava virakti anyatra traisha trika eka khala prapatyamanasya yatashmutashu tushti pushti shugapayorudasha. So like the eating, how the eating is justified or how the eating is quantified. So like three qualities are realized, with anugasa, with every morsel of food that I have. So, but this one, tushti. Tushti means there is nourishment. Sorry, tushti means like there's satisfaction, and pushti means nourishment, and shuddhabaya is reduction of hunger. So if actually a person is eating, no, he will see these three things happening. So in the same way, actually, if somebody is taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, Prapadya Manasya, so every act of surrender that he is performing, so his three things will increase: bhakti, paresha anubhava, that is direct experience of the Lord, and virakti, or detachment from the material things. So these three things must increase, simultaneously and progressively, right? So this is the sign of like advancement, right? So and like this, if we are doing Shravanam properly, if we are doing like Sharmatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanam, Hridayanta Stodi Abhadrani Vidunoti Surat Satam. So like the Shravanam, the process of Shravanam, it's a very scientific process. It must result in this, not this one. It must result in purification of heart. It must result in reduction of lust, anger, and greed. So if it is not, so that means there is something that is lacking. Along with Shravanam, we are also doing material Shravanam as well. Or along with Shravanam, we are like cherishing some material desires. Or along with Shravanam, we are doing some offenses. So something that is going wrong, because of which the equation is not producing the desired result. So now, once this produces desired result, so then a devotee goes to like more serious practice, more serious practice, that is like Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, regularly, every single day, he makes a solid practice of Krishna consciousness. And when he makes this practice, so then, like all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. So this shows the this one of Ananta Nivritti stage and Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. So he becomes situated in the Nishta Bhakti, that means unwavering Bhakti. Now there is in the Bhajana Kriya stage, which I mentioned, the Anishtita Bhajana Kriya, which is wavering stage, because of Anantas, his Bhajana Kriya is like affected a lot. He tries to chant and then his distractions or too much of distractions are happening. So in the Nishtita Bhajana Kriya, he develops some kind of a comfortability, with the sadhana process. Like he's comfortable performing the, the sadhana process, 24/7. Like he makes nice schedule of sadhana, and then he's able to do that very nicely. And then in today's shloka, we see that the aspect of ruchi and ashakti, is actually developed. The stage of ruchi, like just to give an example, if again a student's example we take, like he goes to like he is studying, there is certain students, they dislike studies, and somehow or other because they have enrolled into some course, we have to study. But there are certain students like they like studies, so this ruchi stage is like that. So if you see like anarthas, like how much of anarthas are there, so to that proportion our ruchi will be like, our taste will be very less. So here in the stage of ruchi, it has just become like anarthas have become less than 50%, and ruchi has become more than 50%. So there is a natural taste that is there. So like the taste for performing devotional service, naturally arises from the heart. So there is no fatigue, performing, the devotional service. 16 rounds, maybe 20 rounds, 32 rounds. Like they don't feel fatigue doing these things, or rendering this DT worship. So they can go on performing, like devotional service, and they find it so nice. So it is not that they want some change or something like that, right? So, but then the difference between this stage and the stage of Ashakti is a very, very subtle difference. Like in the stage of Ruchi, sometimes they are executing devotional service, and suddenly, without their knowledge, their mind got diverted to some material subject. So, but in the stage of Ashakti, even if the person is executing some material activity, suddenly his mind gets diverted into spiritual activity. So like that, so it is his remembrance of the Lord is quite strongly triggered. Even if he is distracted in other ways, the mind gets, as a distraction, it gets into like Krishna consciousness. That is the stage of Ashakti. So this kind of this one actually happens, and this happens when the material mode of passion and ignorance is reduced, and a person is situated in mode of goodness. So that is very nicely mentioned here. As soon as irrevocable devotional service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's mode of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Right? So, like the effect of mode of passion is, this what is that? The desire and hankering. No, kama. What is that? No, not that, not that. Um, huh? No, Sangha and Krishna. There is one more set of words that Krishna uses in Bhagavad Gita. I'm just trying to recollect that. Okay, Raga Dvesha. No, Raga Dvesha. No, this is also something that Krishna uses in Bhagavad Gita. So this is, see, when the Raga towards the Supreme Lord, that is Ravi, that is the Baba stage. So before that stage appears the material Raga, so there is another kind of a Raga, the material attraction, the spontaneous attraction to material things, that actually reduces in the stage of Ruchi and Ashakti. So this intense lust, desire, and hankering, they actually disappear because these are all products of material mode of passion. And what is the product of ignorance? Laziness and inactivity, no sleep, and things like that. So these are all material mode of ignorance. So that Srila Prabhupada actually nicely captures in the purport. Now, first, mentions about the stage of Brahma Bhuta. So, because why he mentions about the stage of Brahma Bhuta? Because Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, like here also it is mentioned, Sthitham Satya Prasidati. So, like Prasidati or happiness, like people are in this world like so much behind happiness, how to get happiness and things like that. So, only way is somehow or other if the passion and ignorance is finished. That is when we can be Sthitham Satya Prasidati or Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. So the Prasannata can come only when the material mode of passion and ignorance is removed. So till the time these two things are there, it is only hankering and it's only it's only miserable existence of this material world. So it is very, very essential that the mode of passion and ignorance have to be negated. And the Brahma Bhuta stage is the technical stage, where you are situated in mode of goodness and you are not situated in mode of passion and ignorance. So that's why Srila Prabhupada takes this particular phrase here. So Brahma Bhuta or Atmananda, that means he is satisfied in his self alone, right? So that kind of a stage he attains. This self-satisfaction is not like the satisfaction of an inactive fool. So an inactive fool, it appears to be okay, like no, there is no passion. Sometimes people ask, like, no, prabhuji, if passion is not there, how will I work? No, so work doesn't need passion. No, without passion also we can work. In mode of goodness also we can work, right? So that generally in the material realm, if you negate passion, you will fall into ignorance. No, so that's what is the material this one. But if a person is nicely trained in spiritual practices, if he negates passion, he goes to mode of goodness. When he transcends passion, he goes to mode of goodness. So, that is why here this particular thing Srila Prabhupada is mentioning. It is not that this negating passion means he falls into ignorance. No, he actually goes to mode of goodness. So, and in mode of goodness, there are so many varieties of activities are there, which is not driven by passion, which is driven by goodness, right? So, like here, so whereas the self-satisfied Atmanandi is transcendental to material state of existence, this stage of perfection is attained as soon as one is fixed in irrevocable devotional service. Devotional service not inactivity, but the unalloyed activity of the soul, right? So, so here this one is mentioned when we perform irrevocable devotional service, constant devotional service, then the material modes of passion and ignorance is subsided, and the soul is situated in the platform of mode of goodness. And there, what happens? The soul's activity becomes unadulterated in contact with matter, and as such, the diseased activities are expressed in the form of lust, desire, hankering, inactivity, foolishness, and sleep. So, lust, desire, and hankering pertains to passion. Inactivity, foolishness, and sleep pertains to ignorance. Right. So now this is called the diseased activity. So in this material world, there are this one the competition. If we put everything as it is, in front of people, people will be astonished. Like what is actually people doing is that they are discussing with each other. Two materialists are discussing with each other. Like तुम्हारा कितना fever चल रहा है? मेरा 104 है. अरे क्या like मेरा 105 है. So like that's the competition that is going on. You see, like, people actually discuss. These are the subject matters people discuss. How much lusty people are. Like, people go to a film and they see, like, how lusty the hero is, and things like that. So, and they desire these kind of things, and these are the things that is desired about. And then inactivity, foolishness, and sleep, and things like that. So, this is what is the material world is. So, primarily the material world, especially the Bhuloka. This is a place which is Madhya Tishtanti Rajasa. Rajaguna, people with Rajaguna will be situated here. So, like, in this world, things which are very much glorified is lust, desire, and hankering. So, inactivity, foolishness, and sleep is not very much glorified here. If you go to lower planetary system, probably they will be glorified there. So here, more Rajasic people are there. So these things are very nicely glorified here. So, but it is actually glorification of one's feverish condition. This fever has to be like removed. And sometimes people also think that, okay, now I understood, so these are all wrong. Lust, desire, hankering, inactivity, foolishness, all these things are wrong, I should give it up. So, how easy to give it up? Now, if you say, for example, all of you would have got an experience of getting fever. So, when you got fever, how easy was it to give up the fever? If the doctor would have told, like, "Arey, like, no, give up this fever," no, you would have given up. No, it is a disease. So here also Prabhupada is mentioning this diseased activities. Disease, once it comes, we have to take proper treatment, and it takes time to go. That's a very important thing to understand. So these kind of anarthas, like, for it to go, it is kind of a disease. You can just imagine like a disease. That's why Acharya is using this appropriate word here. So diseased activities, they actually go over a period of time. So here, whole equation is nicely mentioned, right from the Shravanam and non-offensive Shravanam when it is performed, that over a period of time, gradually, like, his heart becomes purified, and then he becomes solidly situated in devotional service, and then the effects of nature's mode of passion and ignorance is reduced, and he becomes situated in Sattva Guna, and later on he goes to Shuddha Sattva. So this whole, this one of recovery phase, this is the recovery phase, right? So if the proper treatment is taken, the proper recovery actually comes. So the effects of devotional service become manifest by complete elimination of these effects of passion and ignorance. The devotee is fixed at once in mode of goodness, and he makes further progress to the platform of Vishuddha Sattva that we discussed in the beginning as itself. And a devotee is always in the mode of unalloyed goodness. So how many of you agree with this? Either we should agree we are not devotee, or we should agree with proper statement. Right? So, and does it seem contradictory from what Prabhupada has been speaking before? So it is mentioned that gradually you will get situated in, once you start practicing with non-offensive vajana kriya, so niraparad vajana. So then slowly these effects comes, and slowly you become situated in goodness, and slowly you become situated in transcendental goodness. And now Prabhupada is like, ekdam palti kar diye hai, like, so he's telling that devotee means he's always in mode of unalloyed goodness. So then what does that mean? Either the statements told before is wrong, or the statement is wrong. So which one is wrong?
Usually the first person only thinks that he is the devotee.
Huh?
Whoever he explains in the first, he says he is the devotee.
Yeah, so we are all practicing devotees. We are all, aspiring to become devotees. So this word devotee, we should not take it in a wrong sense, right? So many times it is attributed in many different ways. Now here, this particular shloka, it talks about, like, what is the stage of devotional service it talks about? Ruchi and Ashakti. No, that is the stage of bhakti it is talking about. So here, when Prabhupada is using the word devotee, he is talking about a person who is there in Ruchi and Ashakti, not the other devotees which we talked about before. What is it? A devotee in Shraddha stage, Bhajana Kriya stage, not that devotee Prabhupada is talking about. He is talking about a devotee in Ruchi and Ashakti. That devotee is always in unalloyed goodness, right? And therefore he harms no one. So, but the non-devotee, however educated he may be, so in this connection, non-devotee, everybody below is non-devotee. Because now the definition of devotee in this context of this shloka is a person who has attained the stage of Ruchi and Ashakti. So everyone else is like non-devotee, in this context, And however educated he may be, he's always harmful. So like No, a proper non-devotee is always harmful, and then a devotee. Harmful means in what sense? That means non-devotees outside everybody are harmful. So we go to the office tomorrow and then somebody, our colleague comes to talk to us, hey, you're a harmful person, no, get lost from here. And people will think like, no, this guy has gone crazy. What is the harmfulness? Yeah, we'll get the disease back. So their consciousness is filled with mode of passion, goodness, passion, and ignorance. And by association, people also get that. That's why we don't take association of non-devotees, we give association to non-devotees. Right? So when we taking association means what? Like receiving some benefit depending upon them and things like that and all. So that a devotee should never do in terms, no, with a non-devotee. And not a devotee should always depend upon devotee or a supreme lord. Not he should never depend upon the materialistic people. So then, no, a devotee may say like, we are receiving salary, we are dependent upon non-devotees. So no, we should consider that even if this job goes off today, still I will depend on Krishna. No, Krishna is the one who's providing me. It's not my boss or somebody else who's providing me. So then he will not be affected. But if he thinks, oh, these are my saviors and these are my maintainers, so then the mode of passion, ignorance, everything will get transmitted. So it is an art actually to live in the material world, not be touched by the material modes of nature. It's a very nice art. No one has to learn to perform this art. So, like how to actually discharge our duties in this material world and not take association of the material world, but only give association. We take association with Krishna, with devotees, and things like that. But then we, like in the outside world, we only give association and not take. Like that. So the harmfulness is that we get the disease back in terms of we again get the mode of passion and ignorance, right? So karma guna sangosya. So you like come in contact with devotional service, passion and ignorance reduces, and you come in contact with a person who is steeped with passion and ignorance. You again get passion and ignorance. So it's karanam guna sangosya. It's like equation. Every moment is a game, and every moment like you either progress or regress. How we perform this particular activity, right? So it is not that once we progress, we keep on progressing. There is possibility of regress also. Right? So there, a devotee is neither foolish nor passionate. That means foolish means ignorance, and passionate means no, it's passion. The devotee is neither in the mode of passion or ignorance, right? So the devotee is situated in the stage of ruchi and asakti. The harmful, foolish, and passionate cannot be devotee of the Lord. However, they may advertise themselves as devotees by outward dress. So, a devotee is always qualified with all qualities of God. Yashasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarve gunas tatra samasateshvara harava bhaktasya kuto mahat gunan. Manoratena sati dhamudogati. So qualitatively, such qualifications may be different, but quantitatively, such qualifications may be different, but qualitatively, both the Lord and His devotees are one and the same, because Lord is spirit and we are spirit. So quantitatively, Lord is supreme spirit and we are minute spirit. Quantitatively, we may be different, but all qualities the supreme personality of Godhead has, all of it, even the minute living entity has. Just like a drop of ocean water also contains all the chemical compositions like a ocean. So in this way, so this is the description of a devotee who is situated in the stage of Ruchi and Ashakti. So with this, I pause today's discussion. Any questions or comments? We can take.
Harikshetra, prabhuji, please accept one of the basics. Thank you for a very wonderful class. It was very informative. Prabhuji, in the 9 stages of Bhakti, Ananta Nivritti, it said that it's quite a tough and a long one. And what we learn is when one does proper Shravana, the Lord Himself personally enters and clears our heart of all human hearts. I have a question, Prabhuji. A lot of lecturers have heard senior devotees say that 99% of our progress in spiritual life depends on our chanting, versus the longest stage and the most difficult stage can be found through proper Shravana. So how do we understand, like from a practical perspective as a sadhaka, once we've done uh, the bare minimum of the different angas of sadhana and seva, where should we spend more time? Is it in chanting? Is it in shravanam? And how do we understand this seeming contradiction?
No, this I don't see any contradiction here. If you see, a sadhaka is expected to perform devotional service. So devotional service means what? Shravanam Kirtanam in a minimal form. And if we expand it, it is Panchanga Bhakti. No? So like which also contains Shravanam and Kirtanam. If we expand further, it is Navadvina Bhakti. If we expand further, like no, it is mentioned 64 angas of Bhakti in Nectar of Devotion. So a devotee means he is spending his time in these angas of Bhakti. No? And the king and topmost amongst these angas of bhakti is the Taramukti Sarvashrestha Nama Sankirtan. No? So like chanting of the names of the Lord is the like crest jewel of all the angas of bhakti. Right? So that is why it is mentioned that 99% of our spiritual progress depends on chanting. Right? So like some a devotee may be dependent upon one anga of bhakti chanting, or he may be dependent upon Bahu anga bhakti, like Panchanga bhakti or Nava anga bhakti or 64 angas of bhakti. So, but he is performing bhakti. He is performing devotional service. If he performs any of these activities, angas of bhakti, it is called devotional service. And it should be accompanied by like avoiding of offenses, and then it should be accompanied by a good, pure sambandha gyan, and free from anarthas and things like that. So when like the Vachana Kriya is not going to stop, it's like another example that is given. Sometimes you all might have heard this example. If you are driving uphill, so then you generally put the vehicle in the first gear or second gear, so then the vehicle get sufficient this one torque, and then it actually climbs this one. And then like when you go downhill, so then sometimes you just need to just put the vehicle in neutral, and then just operate through brake. So then the vehicle will automatically go. So now the distance covered, the uphill and the downhill, the distance covered is the same. So but then the activity what you are doing is applying the accelerator and things like that. So that is your angas of bhakti. That is also same. But the uphill is infested with so much of anarthas, which is putting a lot of obstacles on your path. So to counteract that, you have to work very hard. So because the uphill, a lot of resistance is there. So to counteract that, you have to work very hard. So when the anarthas are removed, what happens is the clarity emerges. So the clarity that I am part and parcel of the Lord, the clarity that I am, I'm meant to render service to the Lord, and the disease is reduced. So when the disease is reduced, my normal foodstuffs starts becoming tastier. So when a person is like very having high fever and things like that, if he eats normal food, he will feel that no, I don't want to eat too much, and things like that. So, but then when the disease reduces, he slowly starts developing taste. Once the taste comes, he starts engaging, willingly and lovingly that in the devotional service, right? So the process becomes easier, for him. The process of chanting, it's there in the Shraddha stage, it's there in the Prema stage also. It's not, the externals are not going to change, from the stage of Shraddha to Prema. So the same composition of devotional service is going to be there. Somebody may be like so much inspired by preaching. Throughout the day, he simply wants to preach the message of Krishna consciousness. Somebody may be like so much absorbed in chanting. Somebody may be in study of Bhagavatam. So any one of the angas, he may just get fixed. But in the preliminary stage, it is always advised that just like in the engineering, it's in fact Prabhupada writes in this one in the Kunti Maharani's prayers. So one may become specialized in any one of the angas of bhakti, but in the beginning stage, everybody should go through the anga of Shravanam and Kirtanam. So after that, he may get on to some specialization. He may develop attraction to deity worship. He may develop attraction to some particular this one. But initially, those things are not available. Like engineering first year, so everybody has to go through the same syllabus, Shravanam Kirtanam. So then after that, there may be specialization. So there is one nice purport that Srila Prabhupada writes this particular this one. So he doesn't give engineering example, but then this is the this one. So yeah, so like the composition of devotional service, like in the stage of prema or bhava, a person is naturally engaged fully in devotional service. In the stage of sadhana, or in the stage of sadhana, means just before bhava, everything is considered to be sadhana. So only three stages is mentioned: sadhana, bhava, and prema. So in the stage of sadhana, wherever it may be, like whichever the 7 stages it may be, so his job is to calculate and plan to fill his day with devotional service. No, that is called sadhana. In the stage of bhava and prema, he doesn't need to plan to be engaged in devotional service. He will naturally be engaged in devotional service. So that's the difference. But here also he is 24 bar 7 Krishna conscious. There also he is 24 bar 7 Krishna conscious. Here he is planned way he is Krishna conscious. There he is spontaneously Krishna conscious. That's the difference. So, like after we pass the first year, then specialization may emerge. Now we can now we may choose some specialization and we may spend time. But whichever this one we spend time on, so it is good. Now we have to be situated in devotional service. And preferably, no Navadita Bhakti, and preferably at least with the Panchanda Bhakti. No, that is considered to be more powerful. Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavata Shravan, no Mathura Vasa, Srimurti Shraddhaya Sevan, no, like that. What are the offenses we commit to the deities? Nice question. I wanted to cover that. So there's a long list. So, but then one thing I wanted to mention was that if you just chant the names of the Lord, so if you avoid 10 offenses, you will make progress. If you add deity worship, so you should avoid the offenses to the deities also. Then only you will make progress. Otherwise, you will not make progress. So this is one thing which I always try to caution. Devotees, don't be too eager to bring deities, too eager to start elaborate worship. So first we should get situated in a nice stage of devotional service. Then these deity worship and other angas of bhakti, they are included for expanding the service. And we should expand the service, cutting down our eating, sleeping, and things like that, not cutting down other services. So that is a formula of expansion of service. So it is better we worship photographs. So they also give same kind of reciprocation. This one, what is that? It is not that if you worship photographs, you will get less. What is that? Less benefit, and if you worship deities, you will get more benefit. No, like even if you worship only holy name, you will get the same benefit. No. So, but when you expand the service, you also be cautious that you are getting engaged with another one important and very close aspect of the Supreme Lord, and that should be approached with proper etiquette and things like that. So, I had this, my Harinam Chintamani seminar slides. So in that there is offenses to the deities also come. Um, Seva Aparad, okay. This is this is the offenses to the deities. I will send this one. It is a long list. I don't know if you are able to see that. Entering the Lord's temple in a vehicle or with shoes, not observing the festivals for the Lord. If we have a deities of the Lord, so then we should observe all the festivals. What is ideally to be observed for them. And not paying obeisances is an offense in front of the Lord. And clasping the hand on the knees in front of the deity is an offense. Reciting prayers in an unclean state, bowing with one hand. No, we should bow down. When we bow down, we should bow down with both the hands. No, we should not go down like this, like Superman. So that is also an offense. Like this, so many different ones are there. So, some of these offenses also may be applicable for the visitors of the temple. So slowly over a period of time, they are educated about these offenses and things like that. So there are many are there. So there are a lot of them are there. So we will not get into all of them. So, but just an awareness, that thing is there, and the Vaishnava etiquette, tidbits that you people are doing. So in that you can cover. So these aspects also. I have one question.
generally when we go to office, the first thing comes is what to do today. Generally, we get motivated by seeing the activity. Basically, we get into passion. But as a devotees, we should be in the mode of goodness. How we can balance our passionate nature in the office? Like I cannot change shirt and
No, see, material activity cannot be done without passion. No, it's you need passion to do it. How else you can do your job? So, like we should make certain advancement, and then we should know that I'm going to do this only for this period of time, and then see, like it is at certain point in time, like all of us plan for retirement, and then we come to further stages. But mental activity without passion, if you go there, they will throw you from the ground. So some amount of this one is needed, but some amount, not too much. And by the way of this one, when the anarthas are cleansed from the heart by the Lord, so naturally the passion reduces. Okay. So anybody would like to give some reflections? One devotee from Prabhuji, one devotee from Mataji's can do, and then we can. You want to share? Okay.
Hare Krishna. So one reflection I got is you can measure how when you're doing a sadhana by knowing how detached you are from material things and how attached you are to Krishna.
Yes. Anyone else would like to share any reflection?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sushil, it's a delight to hear your classes. So I always await to hear. And this many points are there, like, but this is very giving so much of clarity that how we get back our fever if we are associating with negativeness. And every moment it's a game between the progression and regression. So this since, I mean, even if we already know, it gave me a lot of clarity about the example of fever, how we get back there. But sometimes being in Grahastha life, it becomes so difficult to not to associate with materialist food. So any tip that you can give us?
So see, like there is what is spiritual activity. There is this needs to be defined nicely. So like one is like if those people who are engaged, fully in Krishna conscious activities, only in the activities of the Lord, the renunciants, so that can be called as Krishna consciousness, full Krishna consciousness. So, but even the people who are engaged in the professional activities, even they are expected to do only Krishna consciousness throughout the day. And how is it possible? So the possibility is like that is the next level of Krishna consciousness, which is when you do your activity, like why the job is performed. So the result of the job, what is the result of the job? The result of the job is there are many different results are there. One is our salary is there, and another is our connections, and many different results may be there like from our professional activities. All of it should be utilized in Krishna's service. So when all of it is utilized in Krishna's service, so then the time spent in the job can be taken as Krishna conscious activity. It is not a very high grade Krishna conscious activity, but it can be converted into Krishna conscious activity when the results of those activities are fully utilized in Krishna's service. Just like now we are having a gift shop, so it is a business, right? So now, just a legal awareness, ISKCON is a trust which is a charitable trust. No, it's not a religious trust or it is not any other this one. It's a charitable trust. So charitable trust, what business they are doing business in charitable trust. No, they should not be doing. So they should collect donations and they should give charity. So there is a clause in the law that if you conduct a business, which of its proceeds, the business is only 5% or 10%, some limit is there. Beyond that, you cannot have business in ISKCON. Right? So overall collection of donation, in comparison to that, your business value should be like very minimal. So to that extent, you can do business, and whatever profits you get in the business is also considered to be a charitable activity because you're using those money in the charitable business. In the same way, same logic. What is the material world also understands this particular logic. in spiritual, this one also, like I am doing a work, professional work outside, and then the proceeds of that work is utilized in Krishna's service. So then that work becomes Krishna conscious. So then that also offers some level of purification. And then once we reach the maximum limit of purification that kind of Krishna consciousness can offer, so then we switch to like more intense form of Krishna consciousness to attain more purification. Like that. So like whether we be grahastha or brahmachari or a sannyasi, everybody is expected to be full-time Krishna conscious, right? So no, it is matter is about like you're engaged in a very high power Krishna conscious activity. So we are engaged in high power Krishna conscious activity or low power Krishna conscious activity. That's the choice. But a sadhaka should be 24/7 engaged in Krishna conscious activity. So that's when the sadhana will happen. Otherwise, that abhyasa and vairagya. So I am lighting fire and I am pouring water. No, that should not happen. So all activities, whatever I am doing, I should list it down and I should see how it can be done in Krishna conscious way. So if I am not able to do in Krishna conscious way, then my jnana vairagya will not develop. I will not be able to make progress in Krishna consciousness. Okay.
Hare Krishna. So it was always pleasure to have Prabhuji in our class. So these are the things which I learned today. Very nice that the flow of this section, what we discussed today is about the progress of a devotee. So today's shloka talk about ruchi and asakti. Four kinds of bhajana, four kinds of offenses from the bhajana rahasya from Bhakti Thakur. The misconceptions about the nature and the Supreme Lord and the devotional service and goals, inappropriate desires, offenses, and then weakness. So these are the real reasons. Prabhuji brought a wonderful point. Today morning I got a call from my office that something is wrong, we need to rework and all those things they are telling. So like just now, like when doing the ready seva, I was discussing the equations. In this, as per this equation, it should not happen like that. But Prabhuji today told that the equation, we forgot one more point, that is Supreme Lord, the Paramatma, and the Supreme Lord's action is missed. Maybe tomorrow I can go in the office, I can tell that. We missed that equation, that's the reason it is missing. So, thank you, Prabhuji. So, it's a wonderful point because we are not considering the Supreme Lord, we always consider our efforts only. So that's the one thing. And Abhyasa and Vairagya. So we may do everything very gratefully and wonderfully, but without the Vairagya, that is how much we are detached from the material things. Are we relations and the material things? Is a real important piercing point that how much we are still attached to material attractions. So it's a very wonderful point. And bhakti should nourish like a food, like satisfaction, nourishment, and hunger reduces. Same way, we should be satisfied and we should make us advance in bhakti, and our material hunger should reduce. So that is another wonderful point. And as much as anartha we have, Anishita Bhajana Kriya will continue. Moment our anartha reduces below ruchi level, then our Nishita Bhajana Kriya will start. So that is a wonderful point too. So thank you so much for so many wonderful points and so many takeaway points. Let's all thank Prabhuji by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So any newcomer for the first time to the center, we would like to thank you with a small gift. Please come forward. Okay. Everyone senior devotees. Okay, good. So I have a few announcements. Yeah. So if anyone is not associated long and not assigned a mentor or Bhakti leader, please reach out to myself or Srini Prabhu. And kindly endorse for monthly donation. Donate for Food for Life initiative, which we have started recently, and we will get the details at the book counter, so that for the temple construction or the Food for Life we can contribute. And we have important dates to know. 2nd July is Yogini Ekadashi. 14th July is our grand Rath Yatra, where we get an opportunity to Now pull that card. In. So yeah.